I remember how excited players were when Star Wars Squadrons, this game, was first revealed. As somebody who has penned a retrospective on Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader for the GameCube, I can attest that the original Squadron titles are among some of the most adored arcade flight simulator games out there. These video games are fantastic for the time they came out, and people were cautiously hopeful when EA unveiled a new game. There's no way that the technology could fail now that it's advanced so much, right? At least back in 2020, why did I say it like that? 2020, by EA and developed by Motive, I was kind of lukewarm on this game for a couple of reasons. I get bad motion sickness, you guys know this, and I thought this would just absolutely ruin my day. 2, it's an EA game. Yes, Fallen Order was already out, but still, EA. Me and EA have a long, complicated history. Looking at you, Mass Effect Andromeda. Anyway, and this was before the EA Play and Game Pass cross promotion hookup, whatever, and I wasn't willing to spend my money full price for a game of a series that I'm not a super fan of, the Squadron series. I do like Star Wars, just not a super fan of the Squadron series like some people are. I've been aware of Motive for a long time, prior to their recent announcement that they are doing the Dead Space remake. But they've always been like a Star Wars studio. They did Battlefront 2, I think. And I genuinely believe that this would be an Elite Dangerous game type Star Citizen in a certain way. Like a Star Wars themed space shooter with great action and good story. A tribute to the vintage games while paving a way to the fresh path of the 2020s. But it kind of feels like a Wing Commander. And yeah, I said Wing Commander. What a callback. So, like I said, this was released back in 2020, and I want to discuss a few of the issues I have with this game. I only played the story because, let's face it, playing these multiplayer in these types of games are very different than your FPS multiplayer, which is usually the games I play, and I just didn't want to take a shit ton of my time to learn it, and the multiplayer is pretty much a desolate wasteland. I tried to connect one time and could not find anybody else. I was playing on PC. My main concern is the initial, simply being able to play. That was my main concern. Initially, I thought the motion sickness would get me, but that wasn't the case at all. Perhaps it would have been worse if I had played it in VR, because you look your head, whatever. But I had little to no trouble playing this for extended periods of time, talking 4 or 5 hours at a time. Motive truly got it, and I think it might be the restrictive cockpit view that played a major role here. But I don't know. And even though I'm a Star Wars fan, I am not Johnny. I'm not a super fan, so I kind of felt lost at periods of what was happening and who people were, and they were referencing other stuff. I don't know if this game is canon either, so somebody's gonna have to tell me that. Another one of my main concerns is the controls are janky as shit. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but they're weird. Their mouse and keyboard controls are weird, and yes, other games utilize the same controls. So why didn't I use a controller? A game, in my opinion, should be played however the player chooses to, be it for accessibility reasons, comfort reasons, whatever. There should be no excuse to how a player should want to play their game. And yes, a controller and full flight setup may have made this simpler, but that's not how I wanted to play. I want to play with mouse and keyboard. It's unfortunate you can't rebind the mouse. You can only rebind some things, and eventually you just kind of adjust to it. But in my opinion, a game should never have a marketing of you'll get used to the controls because you can't change them. Call me crazy though, I might be a little crazy. My final concern is the game just suffers from its aesthetic appeal, and I know that sounds so gosh dang crazy, but it is a grand game. Glorious cutscenes, colossal structures like the Star Destroyers, the Starhawk ship, everything is such a big bombastic scale. But the gameplay, shoot these guys down, stop these guys from escaping, shoot this thing to blow up this thing, it's monotonous, and at points it overstays its welcome. That, however, did not diminish the enjoyment I received while playing this game. I really enjoyed it once I got into the groove of the routine being repetitive, same mission from the different sides kind of thing. Multiple ships and loadouts where you could really fine-tune your playstyle were really interesting, and playing the two distinct sides at the same point of the story were interesting. I understand that this is not a game that everybody will enjoy, but after playing it approximately 9 to 10 hours, I did. I really did. This game is for if you genuinely enjoy flight sims or games like this. It offers a change of pace from the intensely realistic flight sims like Flight Simulator 2020, but with a Star Wars skin. It's not quite as spacey as, the games I mentioned, Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen. You're not going to get out of your ship, but it's fun. This also is for you if you enjoy the original Squadron games. And if you like VR games, this is for you. I would, though, recommend to get it through Game Pass, which, depending on your plan, it's $11 to $15 or whatever it is. And you can get this with EA Play without the EA Pro, so you can do it through that, or I would wait for a steep discount, less than $10 to $15. Star Wars Squadron was a fun game. I had enjoyed my time in it, and I look forward to seeing if they continue this, but they gotta put some more time and effort into it. There has to be a more solid story. The multiplayer has to be poppin', but that only happens with controls changing. But that's just my humble opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I love you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.